All right, so once your wheel is off, what we're looking for is in here. Put some light. So what the problem is the intermediate shaft. So that's it. This here is the intermediate shaft, and the problem is that joint is worn out. So you're hearing clunking, it's stiff, steering wheel won't return back to where it should be, like a normal driving position. And sometimes occasionally you'll get the click, like click 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 as you're turning it. So what we're going to start with now, as you can see, there's already some white grease on it, because when I went to diagnose it, I wanted to put some grease to see if it would get better, and it did. So that's how I found out that it was in fact this. So what I'm going to do now, this is the bottom one. I just want to start by putting some penetrating oil, and then I'll go to the inside, so that when I come back to here, it should be good. And as you can see, it's pretty rusty, so I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get it off. So and then the bolt you need to get off is that one there. So I'm gonna spray all that. I'll try to get you guys an angle. So I'm just gonna get it, and always wear eye protection when you're doing stuff with rust, sprays, looking up when you're on the bottom. Always wear eye protection. So I'm gonna get in there and then just spray this whole area. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys can see, but with my hand in the way, but I'm just gonna try to put as much as I can so it does its magic while I'm working. So there you go. So I'll zoom in, and just in case I don't mention it later, the bolt we're trying to get off is that one there, and it is a 12mm. And then that's what the U-joint looks like. So that's good. Now we'll get to the inside. Okay, so now we're under the dash. I hope you have a better view than me. It's hard to tell, but I'm under here, so I'm under you. I think I need to turn it a bit to the left. Hold on. Okay. All right, so I think that's good. So under here, the bolt we need to get off is this one over here. As you can see now, the bolt is pointing straight up to that metal, which is not ideal. So what we're gonna do with the bottom still attached, this is important. You haven't unbolted anything yet, so everything is still attached. What we want to do now is turn the steering wheel a bit. So I'm gonna go put the keys in and then turn it, and then hopefully you guys can see. Good. So we're gonna turn the steering wheel a bit to the right. You need to put the key in so that your steering wheel doesn't lock. That's the problem I had at the junkyard. The steering wheel was locked and there was no key, so it made my life pretty difficult. So that's how you want it. I'm just gonna give it a bit more slack, like that. And I don't know if you can hear, but there's a bit of a clunk. Yeah, so that looks good over here. We're gonna go check the bolt on the bottom now to make sure that one's still accessible too. So the bottom bolt is still accessible, so that's good. What I did it a bit off camera because camera's in a good position now, and I didn't want to move it and then risk not getting the right angle after. So what I did was I turned the steering wheel a bit to the right so that the bolt here can be accessible and the bolt on the bottom side can also be accessible. Now, after I did that, I put tape, strong duct tape, Gorilla Tape to be honest, on my steering wheel and on the plastic behind the steering wheel, so that when I unbolt this and remove this, when the steering is free, it won't move. So it's taped right now. And that's where we're at now. Now we're gonna take out this one here. This is a 12mm. So is the one on the bottom side. So we'll put the socket here. At the junkyard I did this with a wrench, so it's not necessary to do it with a socket, but since it's easier the way I have it now, I might as well do what I can. So, but it needs to be done. Okay. Alright, it's loose. Good. There we go. There's the bolt. So that's all loose now. Let's go to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing I did above. Try to break it free with a larger socket and then use the smaller socket to actually get it out. Again, 12mm once again. Okay, and again, make sure your car is on jack stands, so not the jack, on jack stands, because your legs are under the brake disc right now. Not ideal. Let's try to break it free. Okay, I felt some movement. This one's much tighter than the top one though, let me tell you that. Probably because it's rusty. That's a good angle, but now you can't see, so. Okay, bolt is loose. There we go. As you can see, bolt is out. So, that's good. Make sure you keep your bolt somewhere safe. Okay, and here is the second tough part where I also struggled at the junkyard. So what you want to do now is get this off of the spline which is under it, but it's rusty, so it probably is not as easy as you would think. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get it. I'm under the car right now, so again, wear your safety glasses, don't forget. Okay. Finally got it off. So let me show you what the spline looks like and why it was so difficult to remove. So let me get the camera in there. You see that right over there? And I just got it off. I didn't even clean it yet. So what you see is how it was. Let me see if I can get the light underneath to give you a better idea. Yeah. Look how, yeah, crunchy that is. So I tried so many different things to get, and that's the intermediate steering shaft right up there. I haven't taken it out yet, just left it there. And then that's the U-joint that's garbage. I tried so many things. I tried mallets, pry-bars, smashing it. Trying to put a bolt in with a piece of metal between the pinch to kind of get it to push off. That didn't work either. What I ended up doing, I also tried using a smaller floor jack with a crowbar to kind of like press it out. That didn't work either. Finally, what ended up working is I took a long flathead screwdriver. Let me show you. This one here, it's 2 feet. I think it's 2 feet. I was underneath the car. I kind of shoved it between the pinch. I'll show you on the new one so you get an idea. The new junkyard one, not new one. So what I did was I got the screwdriver from under the car. I popped it in there like that. And then I just started whacking it with the mallet. Okay? And it was moving. The screwdriver was moving up there, up there, up there. And I guess eventually, as it got bigger, it opened the pinch enough, which is what I was trying to do all along. And then it popped right out. There we go. Almost out. There it is. Now, what we're going to do is remove the intermediate steering shaft. First of all, make sure they're the same. Then we're going to clean up the spline, lubricate it, lubricate the U-joints in here, and then hopefully put it back. And hopefully I didn't turn the steering while I was doing that. So let's go on the inside here. And now in theory, I should be able to just lift it out. Let's see if that's true or not. Get some light in here for you. Okay, so I already removed the rubber, the gasket, I guess it's called, and the metal ring. It just pops right out. So now let's see. It should just come right out into my hands. Let's see. Okay, there it is. So let's compare the two. All right, I'll set the camera down. So this is the old one here, and this does extend, so just because it's not the same length doesn't mean it's not the same one. Let's compare them. Looks the same. Yeah, looks the same. And now let me show you what the problem was. As you can see, this U-joint here, forget the white grease because I just put that in to see. It's in much worse shape than this one. This one's not in the greatest shape either, but it's much better than this one. And let me show you what the problem was. So I don't know if you can hear that. And then it binds when it turns. It goes like this, and then you got to use force to get it out. And then you can see it's just literally falling apart in my hand. But the main thing that was annoying me was the sound. Okay, and then it was also dangerous because it wouldn't return back to the neutral position. It would get kind of stuck. Like, see here, it's kind of like binding. But if we take the new one, it's much more smooth, and there's no play in it. If you listen, see? So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the splines on the car, on the steering. And then, oh, I left my wire brush in there. 1 second. So what I'm going to use is just brake cleaner and a wire brush. I'm not trying to grind it, I'm just trying to clean it. And from what I was able to see online, it should come out pretty easy. So let me set the camera down. You can see it's really crusty. I'm just going to take the brush first and clean it up. Take away all the loose debris, rust, whatever it is. Okay, try to get all around it. Try to get the backside too. Okay, so that's already looking much better. Now we're going to take the brake cleaner. Actually, I'm going to use a straw for once, actually. I don't think I've ever used a straw on the brake cleaner, so let's see if it works. Okay, so there we go, and let's, oh, you can see it's cleaning right up. Look at that, there's actually some color still on there. Wow, look at this. I'm gonna get some shop towels here to clean it up a bit more. Let's just try to break off everything we can with this first. So now, before I grease the actual shaft, I'm gonna put some white lithium grease on this here, so that the new one goes on. I'm using this grease here. It's nothing special, just general grease. And what I'm gonna do is just grab some here. Yeah. Grab some, and I'll do it over the cardboard. I don't know why I'm doing it on the driveway. Okay. I'm gonna leave the camera put because my hands are gonna get dirty. So what I'm gonna do here is just grab a good amount. You don't have to be cheap with this, and then just pack it in there. Try to get it in all the joints. Using my other glove. I'm so smart. Okay, just get it all in there. Don't be cheap with it. It's much easier to do it now while it's out than while it's in. So, okay, get it in all the joints here, like that. Okay, and this will also protect it from hopefully corroding too bad. So try to get all the areas of it. Yeah, very good. Okay, we're gonna do the same with the upper one now. You can put a bit less in the upper one because it doesn't see the road or salts or water. It's under your dash, so it's a lot cleaner. Could be my imagination too, who knows. Okay, how's that? Luckily it's a pinch bolt. Oops. It's a pinch bolt and there's a groove. So if it's not in all the way, you'll know. I'm just trying to make sure it's in. So if it catches the grooves on the other side, we'll know it's good. If it doesn't, then we'll know we're not good. Let's see, has it gone in? Oh, looks like that's pretty good. Perfect. Let's go check the top now, make sure that one's lined up. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but actually it's not a really good angle for me. I don't know if you can see, but the socket is turning. If I had an extra extension, it wouldn't hurt right now. Alright guys, so I tightened both bolts enough. As you can see here, don't know how well it'll come out on camera, but the disc looks like it's turned slightly to the right. And then if we look at the wheel on this side, you'll notice the same. It's turned very slightly to the right, and this probably happened when I was trying to get that spline out. And then if we come in here, this wheel looks like it's slightly turned to the right as well. So it's tight enough now. I actually did have it taped, so it didn't move too much. I'll remove the tape now, and we're gonna move the steering wheel straight because it's kind of hard to tell if it's not completely straight. Put the key in just so the steering wheel doesn't lock, and now I'm gonna turn it straight, or as straight as I can get it. So that looks to me true. If you compare the steering wheel to the dashboard, to the tach, I mean the speedometer, that looks straight. So let's look at the wheels now. So again, not the easiest to tell, but I think that's straight. I'm confident enough. I think, to fully tighten it. I can't really fit a socket in here, but I can fit a wrench. So I'm just gonna pound it down. And yeah, I'm sure there's a torque specification, but good luck putting a torque wrench in here. So with the length of this wrench and the angle that I'm at, I'm just gonna do it as tight as I possibly can. And then that's how you can see here the pinch. So as I tighten it, it pinches on the thing, and you can see the bolt popped out from the other end. I can understand if the light is not ideal now, but I really don't have another hand. Okay, so this, that's as tight as that's gonna go. Then over here, this we have to pop in. Hold on, I'm gonna try to turn a little bit because I'm upside down. Okay, I'll set the camera down. I think you'll be able to see enough. So I'm gonna lift the metal piece out for now. Okay, and then I don't know if there's a way to line it up. I'm not too sure. I think it's fine. And then we just gotta, well, there's a rubber you have to line up. There we go. So see, it popped out of there. And then there's a nut on the other, and then you just clip it down. Okay, bend the tabs down, make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay. And that should be good. Now let's go tighten the bottom. Now that I'm confident that it's on in the groove, I'll use the impact because it gives me a better angle. Also, if you have a Toyota Sienna, I just learned this the other day. Listen to the transmission. The transmission pan is right here. Just listen. Apparently when you have the key on, that's normal. At least that's what I read. If it's not, and you're an expert, let me know, but that's what somebody told me. So I think that's good. You feel it? I'll check it again by hand also, just to make sure it does feel tight. Since I do have some extensions on here, I'm going to place the camera down for a second, just to use both my hands. Can't really get in there, to be honest. Turn it upside down. So that's pretty much as tight as it's gonna go. So that looks good. All right, so it's the next day here. I put the wheels back on. Everything should be bolted. Now what we're going to do is take it on a test drive, so we'll turn it on. It feels better just by feeling it, but we'll take it on a proper test drive, because the old one too, sometimes when the weather was warmer, which it is now, it would feel fine. So I don't want to speak too soon. We'll let the car run for a few seconds, and then we'll just drive it around, try to do a 3-point turn, which is kind of like the ultimate test. And then if everything is good, then we'll put everything closed. Better. Do you see how much easier it is for me to turn this now? I was definitely struggling much more than this before. Look at this. Oh yeah. And let's see. Yeah, the slop is gone too. So there was some slop in it before, and it's gone. So let's take it. Sorry about that. The battery died in the camera, but I took it around the block. The steering is much better, so there's no more clunk, there's no more slop. Steering wheel points straight, which is great. So that's a job well done.